Uh-oh. Here comes trouble.
Straight from Twin Town Sports Central! Throwing paydays in the pool. What's up, everybody? It's Eric Grover here. And you got the Grovcast. Yeah. It's, about that time. Spring season has started. Exciting stuff. We got track teams in action. Baseball. Softball. Soon we'll get some golf going. Got some tennis going. It's it's gonna be good. Let's talk a little bit about the teams that are in action. Let's start with the Wahpeton track team real quick. Took 9th at the EDC. Not too bad, but I think they'll be trying to aim higher. Wap baseball. Tough weekend in Sioux Falls, but some really good teams came back on Tuesday. Got a sweep of defending state champion Fergus. That's a strong start for this team. Lots of seniors on this team. I know they want to aim high. They have what it takes to get to the top of the conference, I think, and this is a good start. NDSCS softball, rough start on the road, but they're 4-0 at home. They destroyed Fergus Falls. MSCTC on Wednesday in 2 games that never really were close. That's a good-looking team there, too. Good pitching this year, which is something that they didn't always have last season, and a little bit of pop in those bats, too. Is that it? Man, I talk fast. Oh, yeah, Breck Baseball starts Thursday. We'll see what's going on with those guys on next week's Grovcast.
Moving right along.
What was that?
Edit.
No, we're rolling now.
Moving right along. On the Trumpcast.
Whoa!
Sorry, it's the Grovcast.
Whoa!
It's a hostile takeover. Miles Trump, Daily News reporter, joined by my 2 co-anchors.
It is Anchorman! Yeah.
And representing the News Monitor, Landon Kafka.
Mr. Kafka.
Whoop whoop. And always remember, stay away from runaround soup.
Yeah.
I almost started laughing at the beginning. See, what I tried to do was, I started off strong and then dialed it down right
You
away.
really did. What was going on there?
Moving right along.
Yeah. I don't
We'll
know.
work on that.
Yeah, I don't know.
You gotta practice.
Yeah, I think we gotta send you back to the monitor to do that again.
We had to switch it up. We had to switch it up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, welcome, guys. Welcome to Apartment 4, locations unknown. What's going on this week? How you guys been?
Good.
Just living the dream.
Yeah. How about Kentucky? You excited?
I told you.
Well, everybody knew it wasn't exciting. It wasn't exciting. Wasn't surprising at all.
Yeah.
It was just boring.
Even Calipari said after the game he has 6 pros on his team, which he does.
Yeah. Well, I was shocked at how unenthused Calipari was about winning the whole thing. Is that because he knows that the gates are that's all gonna come crashing down on him when they find out how he illegally recruited all these guys?
Well, when you have a team it's that good, you're kind of expected to win, and he kind of knew all season, even when you hear him talk about it.
This is his first title.
But, the team, he just has so much talent, so much, it would have been a huge disappointment if they hadn't won. And I think it's more of a relief for him to take it down instead of a celebration.
Yeah. What do you think, Moss?
I just didn't want him to win in the first place.
Well, nobody did. He's not a likable guy. Is he?
Nah. I like his personality. I just think that he's been around too much scrutiny for him not to be doing some shady things.
Yeah, well, what college coach isn't doing shady things at this point?
Yeah.
If Joe Paterno goes down in scandal,
That's way different.
College athletics is a corrupt business.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And that's the sad part about it. It's amateur athletics. That's why a lot of people love it. But now it's not. It's a business.
Well, the 3 of us watched the title game. I think the consensus was that Kansas had its chances, but kind of just blew it. Too many bad mistakes, too many turnovers.
Yeah. They did have a chance at the end there.
Yeah.
If you add up all the dumb mistakes and just sort of lackadaisical things that ended up resulting in Kentucky points at the end. You could have
Or the lack of Kansas points.
Yeah, you could have had a very close game.
They could have won.
Yeah.
They could have won, but they didn't.
Kansas doesn't really have that, deadly scorer you can go to, especially from outside.
Well, they're supposed to with Taylor, but whatever. Yeah, but he sucks. Yeah. Okay. Anything else you guys want to add on that?
We moving on.
Yeah.
Moving right along.
There you go.
Practice.
I think they're going to appreciate it.
Back to the minors. Major League 3.
Major League 3. We'll send you the buzz.
See, they were expecting the booming voice of Grover, but they heard it booming, and then they heard it down.
We like to keep our audience guessing.
Yeah. Keep them on their toes.
Well, this is a natural segue, because we're talking about the minor leagues, but now it's time to go to the majors. Ladies and gentlemen of the Grovcast, it's MLB season time. I'm pretty psyched.
It's the best time of the year.
You're decked out in your Twins gear right now.
Yeah, this is, retired Twins gear since Delman got jettisoned off to Detroit to add to
Is this the farewell jersey wear for you?
Well, I just wear it, if I'm doing stuff.
You're not
playing outside.
You're not going to set it afloat on a burning raft on the Red River.
I usually just fold them up and put them in the closet next to the Johan Santana jersey and all the other ones.
Yeah.
Well, I think we glossed over the Twins a little bit, but let's go more in depth with a couple of Twins fans. Last year was not very good.
A disaster.
But they were worse in the AL, weren't they?
They were worse in the AL Central for
worse
sure.
How many games did we lose? Like
99 losses.
Yeah.
Almost 100.
Yeah.
They had a lot of trouble, though. I mean, we have, Justin Morneau obviously was out pretty much the entire year with his on and off concussion and whatever else is. Yeah, Mauer
was hurt.
Battled injury the whole year.
And the demons in his head for getting all that money.
Yeah. So
it's pretty simple in the fact that the Twins can't win without Morneau and Mauer.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple. And obviously our pitching struggled a lot last year.
Especially in the bullpen.
The bullpen was horrendous.
Yeah.
And so you improve that a little bit. Because it's pretty much at rock bottom, in my opinion. You bring in Mauer and Morneau, and hopefully good things happen.
Well, Morneau's going to be exclusively a DH this year, is what I'm hearing. They play a lot of time as the DH.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll use him as much as he can, and they'll probably... Morneau will have to play the field because I'm sure they'll use Mauer as the DH too every now and then, as they signed Dummett and Josh Willingham and Ben Revere.
It's good that they re-signed Revere.
Yeah, it's tough. It's going to be hard to cover up the loss of Kubel and Kadire.
Yeah.
And Kadire was their only All-Star last year, so that was that's a
All-Star by default.
But he had a really good season.
Yeah.
And it'll be tough to cover up those losses, but
yeah, Kubel's nothing to slouch at either. He's had tons of solid hits.
Yep.
Clutch hits.
Yeah, he's very
the past
clutch.
few years.
Well, all the experts that supposedly know more than us are picking the Twins to finish fourth in the division.
It's going to be, Kansas City is on the rise, which is unfortunate for the Twins.
Yeah, it only took 30 years.
Yeah.
Royals are back, baby.
Yeah. Not since the 1980s. Kansas City Royals.
Once a week they're going to have George Brett fight somebody.
Yeah. The Kansas City's coming back. Cleveland will be tough, and Detroit's obviously the favorite in the Central.
The White Sox are the worst team.
I think the White Sox might be the worst team.
Well, how good do you think the Twins can be?
I don't know. It's always hard to tell with them because there's been years where they've come into the season and had mediocre preseason rankings and end up winning the division.
Yeah.
The Twins have always been a surprise team. They've never, in recent history, come in and been dominant right away. They've always been, they play well, and they go on this roller coaster ride where they have these streaks, and then somehow they magically make the playoffs at the end of the season. It's what they do.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to say at the beginning of the season how they'll be.
Well, I really think that Detroit is the favorite and that they'll run away with it. But here's the great news. There's 2 wild card slots
Exactly.
now.
Yeah.
Is it possible that the Twins can slide in there?
It's possible. And Detroit's like a...
Who's the ace?
Detroit's a slow pitch softball team, so those guys could get hurt too.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Cabrera, like he's one
And
step
Chubby
away
Fielder.
from blowing out his Achilles, and Fielder and Delman Young. I mean,
Fielders could be nervous.
definitely leading the league in average weight for
Yeah.
their players.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I gotta bring this up. Did you guys hear about the stuff that's going on with Pavano? Did either of you guys hear about this?
No, what's
I
going
have
on?
not.
He's being like
Oh
exploited.
yeah, extorted.
Yeah, by a guy who claims that they had a gay relationship together in high school.
Really?
Yeah. Some crazy stuff going on.
Wow.
Yeah, Google it.
Google.
Google it at home.
Well, I don't think I'm going to make a comment until I know more about this issue. But
Yeah,
that's
I heard
crazy.
he was being extorted, but I didn't really read about why.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, I don't know.
Wow.
Nothing good, that's for sure. Nothing that brings positive vibes to the clubhouse.
Yeah, I think that's going to jack up the ERA a little bit.
Yeah, hopefully not.
Yeah, something like that, that's a distraction. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely a distraction.
I think that, I think the Twins are going in the right direction as far as their lineup goes, because Target Field isn't exactly a hitter-friendly ballpark. I just wish we had
Well,
a couple more
Comerica
pitchers.
isn't a hitter-friendly park either, and that's why
Well, that's why they got a bunch of fat guys that can smash the ball.
500
They actually moved the fences in at Comerica, so it'll be a
Did
little
they?
bit more hitter-friendly
Cheers.
this year.
That
Yeah.
shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah.
How could you... Oh, yeah. Oh, we're just going to move it in. Just a couple feet this year, no big deal. A couple feet next year. All of a sudden you're playing on a softball diamond.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about that graphic that's in ESPN Magazine, all the home runs that Fielder hit last year that wouldn't be home runs in Comerica Park.
I think
There's
he's
a lot
going to
of them.
struggle because it's a pitcher's park and he's got all that money to live up to. He might not care as much. But should we take it AL wide and talk some NL? Who are you guys looking at as early World Series favorites?
Good question. I'm not too sure from the NL. Obviously, St. Louis was
Philly.
really good last year. They're going away. Philly's going to be good. They got a pitching staff that's unholy.
You really think St. Louis is going to be good with
No, I
Albert Pujols?
said St. Louis was good last year. They're not
Yeah.
going to be good this year.
They weren't even that great last year.
Yeah.
They're undefeated right now, guys. They're undefeated.
The Giants still
You
got
wanna know.
the Giants still got a pretty good nucleus. They'll get Buster Posey back this year.
Yeah, the Giants are good, and the Rays are good. Still with that young rotation. And obviously Philadelphia. Atlanta has some young stars. The Brewers suck.
Just gotta throw that out. I wasn't gonna say it.
I'm already like, ugh, this season. I mean, Ryan Braun had an
Don't the
absolute-
Brewers have Greinke?
Yeah,
Oh, you got that going for you.
and Gallardo, but and Markham and Wolf. Actually, we
Good
got a
pitching
pretty
staff.
decent staff, but we have our megastar who hit 230 in spring training because everybody thinks he's on steroids. So, yeah, I don't think that's going to be good at all. At all. At all. Should I say it one more time?
Yeah. At all. Moving. Right along.
Yeah, well, let's wrap it up.
Wrapping it up.
We thank you. We just watched the Timberwolves, and who beat them? Golden State.
Golden State.
Yeah.
They lost to Sacramento the other night.
Yeah.
It's not looking good. The playoff situation.
Well, the big talk this
become
week,
better.
and it's big because Bill Simmons wrote something about it, is the MVP race. And in his top 6 candidates, he had none other than number 42 for the Minnesota Timberwolves as his number 3 finisher in the MVP voting. Is Kevin Love a legitimate MVP candidate?
He is a legitimate MVP candidate, but for him to get it, I think the Timberwolves would at least have to be the 6th seed in the playoffs, and they're not going to be. So, and to me,
So he's not a legitimate MVP candidate.
if you took
What you're saying
Kevin,
is that he doesn't have a shot.
he doesn't have a shot at winning it, but I think he is.
Yeah.
Because it's always going to go to someone that's on a winning team. Like it's probably going to be Kevin Durant.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I think it's going to be LeBron, actually.
it's not going to be LeBron.
It might
Nobody
be.
likes LeBron.
I'll bet you Newton.
I'll bet you a Newton. You want to get back into betting Newtons?
You know what? It's been a while. I'm feeling hungry. But, Miles, what do you think? I mean, Love is having a monster statistical season. He's the next great NBA rebounder. But, yeah, the Wolves are not a playoff team.
Yeah, I agree with Landon. And they'd have to make the playoffs for him to have a chance to be an MVP. I truly believe that. And I love Kevin Love. I love Love.
You love Love.
You love Love.
I love Lamb. Nice duel.
But does he really...
Jinx! Owe me a Newton.
Does he really stack up against LeBron James and Kevin Durant?
As far as MVPs go...
As far as height goes, yes.
If you take Kevin Love off the Timberwolves, and you take Durant off OKC, and you take LeBron off of Miami, the Timberwolves would by far be the worst team
and this
out
is
of that
what
deal.
I said,
and that's what an MVP is.
And this is what I said to Miles before we started recording. And Miles warned me, he says, don't say this, because some Timberwolves fans might get upset. But I argue that in actuality, Kevin Love is the least valuable player in the league because his awesome season has propelled the Wolves to lottery mediocrity, where if they don't have him and they don't have Rubio,
they're getting the first pick.
They're in the top three. Yeah, absolutely. With a really solid class coming out. They got a chance at the unibrow. If you got the Brow and Love on the front court, oh my goodness. How nasty is that?
Actually, I do kind of want a good draft pick now
exactly.
that I think about it.
So
I'll take any of those guys.
That's why I argue that Kevin Love, in actuality, is the NBA's
really
most valuable player.
No way. But the Bucks are going to pick up someone, good.
Oh, I know. Well, why do you always got to bring up the Bucks? It's established that
you have the deer thing right there.
I was at that playoff game.
I would have just taken down out of sheer spite at this point.
Guys, we spent too much time on the Bucks.
Yeah, that's way too much Bucks talk. That's way too much Bucks talk.
Moving right along.
Well, do we have anything else to talk about?
Ending.
No, you moved right along. That means you got to...
Moving right along.
Wrap it up, Miles.
Yeah.
What are Globetrotters? Would you want to see them?
Absolutely.
I actually saw them about twice in my life.
That's cool.
Enjoyable.
At Target Center?
Once at Target Center.
Okay.
I'd like to see them in 1960.
I would too.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, they actually play Milwaukee every year on New Year's Eve. But I've never gone.
It's a fun fact.
Yeah, that's a fun fact. Yeah, they play at the Bradley Center every year. And, since I've never gone, I really don't have anything else interesting to say.
I can't believe we just threw it to the Harlem Globetrotters.
Well, they're on the TV.
They are. For all those viewers
I'm surprised you
there.
didn't want to start talking about lamps or, we know that you love lamps.
Yeah.
Or townships in Milwaukee.
Or townships. We could talk some districts.
Or Led Zeppelin, that's even better.
You know what? We should start branching out to more things besides just sports on the podcast here. Or do you think that nobody wants to listen to that?
We could do some pop culture.
Yeah, we could. Hey, guys, listen up. We need some more comments here. You guys got to tell us what you want to hear about. If you want us to stay sports, you want us to talk music, movies, pop culture,
because Eric is reading the Hunger Games right now.
I'm reading the Hunger Games.
He will tell you all about it.
It's really good. Well, the first one was entertaining, and then the second one was just...
Did you guys share popcorn when you were at the Hunger Games together?
No. Well, I don't want to talk about the popcorn. But I don't eat the popcorn anymore.
I had a popcorn incident.
I don't want to go into it. But, okay, the first book was good. The movie was good. The second book seemed like... I felt cheated at the end. Because...
You already read the second book?
Oh, yeah. I powered through that.
What happened at the end of the second one? Oh, are you going to read it?
Well, I don't want to give it away.
Can't. You're going to do a spoiler alert?
Are you guys going to read it?
There and do spoiler alert.
Are you guys going to read it? Anyway.
I can't believe we're talking this much about the Hunger Games in the first place. That was our own.
Yeah. Well, we'll get some feedback, and then we'll talk some more Hunger Games next week. But, yeah.
You're definitely going to have to chop this down.
Yeah, probably.
like Lenny Kravitz. It's like an aura with this song. There's an aura with this Grovecast, but unfortunately it's come to an end, boys and girls. Yep, I know. It burns me inside. But we're all just gonna have to deal with it. Hey, thanks to Miles, Landon, good luck to the teams out there. Catch you next week, right on the Grovecast.